Hey guys, and welcome back. Today we're going to talk about how to convert a standard push button reel over to a lever. There's lots of guys out there who like the lever reels if that's what they learned with. So converting a push button reel onto a lever is pretty simple. Here's a list of parts that you're going to need for this conversion. That back cap is the most important, but the other four parts, you're going to need those as well. So let's get into it. Of course, to start out, you got to remove the bottom screw and remove the back cap. And I don't know why I even try anymore. We'll just take our wrench and pop it out of place. There we go. Now we'll give it just a little wiggle, and it'll come right free. So as we look into the back of our reel here, we notice that there are two U-shaped little black things, and that's our bushing retainers. And this lever assembly is going to replace those two bushing retainers with a carriage, more or less a lever girdle, if you will, and that's XD59, okay? And then our lever itself, if you flip it over, it's got a little ramp to it, and that's how this works. Once you push that ramp across, it actually pushes the button down. So let's look at how to assemble this lever assembly. Now we're going to take our spring, our XD54, and we're going to hook it in the end of our lever. There's a little hook on the end, okay? You want the ramp facing you, and you want to hook it up just like this, and want to make sure our lever's down, of course, or our little elbow's down. And that little elbow that hangs off the end of the spring is going to go right here in this little hole right here on the back of our bushing retainer carriage, okay? Once we get that in, I can hold it with my thumb and move the lever until the lever itself slides down in the center hole. Now that we got it together, you can see that there's a hole there, and we're going to take our screw, XD55, and we're going to put it right there in place. Now you don't want to over tighten this. However, after I tightened it a little bit, you can see that that there's just a little gap in there. And that little gap, we want to tighten that up. So tighten it up just where that gap stops, and everything still works freely. Okay, this looks pretty good. So now we're going to go back over to the high speed, and we're going to take our bushing retainers out of our reel. Keep the four screws, of course, but our little bushing retainers are going to go by the side, and we're going to replace it with our lever assembly that we just put together. Now if you turn the lever assembly over, and on the bottom side of these bushing retainers, they do have a little groove, and those grooves go right down on top of your brass bushings on both sides of the reel, right there. And you want to make sure when you slide this down, wiggle it back and forth to where it actually slides down in that groove. The reason I mention this step is if you don't, and you start tightening screws down and it's not in that area, if it's not down in that groove, you could have problems. Now it's a good time to go ahead and test our reel. Get some string out here. So you can see everything's free spool. We can reel, everything stays in free spool. You can see the lines not moving, okay? But once we engage our reel over to the right and we click our reel, yep, everything is totally engaged. Well, that was pretty simple. Now all we've got to do is put our back cover on. So you have to slide the back cover down over the lever first, and then index it, make sure it slides down in the holes, and turn it so it's straight. And once again, don't forget to put in that pesky little screw that goes in on the bottom of our reel. Get in there. Oh yeah, works like a charm. Flip her back over, lines engaged, throw your fish in. Hey, if you're a lever lover, we hope you've enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to smash that like button, ring the bell, subscribe, and we'll see you next time right here. For a complete rundown of parts, don't forget to check that description, and enjoy the brotherhood, man. We'll see you next time.